This is a WUFI Passive tutorial on the general information you see when selecting a window component. So in our sample project in WUFI Passive, you can see the different window components and you can kind of detect them by the icon that's showing up next to them. Looks like a little window. As I click on each of these components, various information shows up about that. So I'm going to walk you through that. The first type of information is actually the name, which you can select. Second is the type of component it is. So is it transparent, opaque, or opening? So you could change a window to opaque to then bring it into a wall type, or maybe an opaque door, or you can keep it at transparent. It stays a window. You can choose what zone is on each side or what temperature condition each side is exposed to. So let's pick a window I can see down here. Okay, so down here, zone 1 is where the arrow starts. You can see these little green arrows. The interior side is where the arrow starts, and the outer side is where the arrow is pointing to the outer side. So these seem to be appropriate. Zone 1 on the inside and outer air on the outer side. Keep going down, there's a little bit of information about the geometry. So here you see the area. 3 windows are grouped together here, so I can see the area first on the left of the window selected, the window highlighted in red, and then the area of the total group is 99. If I were selecting a window that was alone, I would only see one area here. Next you see the inclination, almost always 90 degrees if the window's in the wall. You see the orientation, so the orientation of this window is west. Be careful with this if your window is flipped the wrong way. If that arrow was facing the other way, I could change that. You'd see this window's on the west wall, but it's facing east. And you can see there's no arrow, or the arrow, kind of hard to see here, but the arrow for this window is now pointing inward. So I'd click on that and change the orientation. So make sure your windows are all facing the appropriate direction. Next it shows me the window width. This is the 3-foot wide window, and the window height, 5.5 feet. The perimeter of the window is 17 feet. It gives me the U value of the window installed, so it includes all the parameters about the window, including the installation thermal bridge. It tells me the frame factor, so what percentage, this is essentially what percentage of my window is glass. So you have about 78% glass in this window and about 22% frame. And then lastly, you have the thermal bridge coefficient for the window install. So when a window is installed in a wall, there's the thermal bridge that runs along the installation condition. So here, because there's wall between these windows, there's a thermal bridge where this is installed the entire way around this window. So it's appropriate for this install condition, or this install thermal bridge, to run all the way around the window. However, for this middle window that I'd selected earlier, I'm including thermal bridges to the wall, from the window frame to the wall, on each side of this window, even though on the left and right side of the window there is no thermal bridge to the wall. The window frame's not connected to the wall. So what I can do here is I can unclick from window parameters, because right now it's just taking it from the generic window I created, which just says, okay, yeah, there's a thermal bridge around every side of the window. I can uncheck that, enter 0. You can see it kind of grays out and it just autofills until you override that. So I have 0 here for the left, 0 for the right, and now my top and bottom have that PHIUS install condition of 0, the generic one that I had before. So here's from window parameters, the default PHIUS install, or the PHIUS install calculator for this project. And then if I unclick it, you can see I zeroed out that PHIUS install condition for left and right. And this made really minimal impact on my model, but it's for each window, this could make somewhat of an impact, especially if you have a lot of mold windows, or all of your windows are mold. You have sets of 2 or sets of 3 everywhere. This could make an impact. So you can change this value, zero out the thermal bridge on whatever sides are connected to another window.